Right, good morning everyone. It is day 24 for me, I believe. This is where we stayed last night in Lake Arrowhead. We're just leaving now to go and catch the bus back to Cedar Glen and then to get back on trail. A little bit frustrated the last few days. Things haven't been going according to plan. Kind of been stopping and starting, not been getting many miles in. We now need to get to Wrightwood by close of play on Friday because both Amelia and Pink Panther have packages at the post office they need to get. So this is where we stayed, the Fleur de Lac. Bit of an odd place. But yeah, we have to get to Wrightwood by 5 p.m. on Friday, preferably as much before that as possible, to get their packages from the post office, because the post office doesn't open on a Saturday or a Sunday, and we don't want to be stuck there for 3 days. So basically we've got 60 miles to do in 4 days, which doesn't sound too bad, but might be a little bit challenging. And look at these cool animals here, like made out of hedges and stuff like that, made out of grass. They're quite cool. But this town is not set up for pedestrians. You're kind of taking your life in your hands every time you try and cross the road. It's a very strange place. Yeah, it's about 8 a.m. The bus we need just leaves from up here outside the Stater Brothers supermarket. And it's a free bus as well, just like the trolley was in Big Bear Lake. So that's nice and handy. That'll get us back to Cedar Glen, where the malt shop is. And then we've either got a hitch back to what they call the third gate, or just bite the bullet and walk it, which will be about 3 miles, and I think most of it's downhill. So that is the state of play. At least we all had a good sleep last night. Got showered, got most of our gear dried out. Tents are still a little bit wet, but oh yeah, hell of a lot better than the situation we were in yesterday morning. So Lake Arrowhead, where we are, is actually obviously on a lake. A lot of boating and things like that. It's on quite a few levels as well, the town, apparently. So this is like the shopping plaza bit. You've got the post office here on the left, Stater Brothers supermarket further on. There's a CVS pharmacy there, and then like pizza shop, arcade, a couple of other bits over there. And then down below, there's another section, another part of the town. So we just got dropped off by the free bus at the post office in Cedar Glen. Because we didn't have any coffee this morning, because the place where we stayed, even though it had coffee, the room where the coffee was all locked up and we couldn't get in. So there's a little row of shops near the post office where the bus dropped us off. One of them was the Cedar Glen Inn. They opened at 7, did breakfast. We went in, just got a cup of coffee each and sat at the bar and talked to the very nice lady behind the counter, Caroline. Hello, Caroline. Thank you very much for the coffee. Really nice of you. And it was very much appreciated. And now we are walking back up Hook Creek Road, back towards the malt shop, and then back towards Third Gate and back towards the trail. So it seems that when people see hikers just walking down the road, they just like to stop and pick them up.
It's extremely nice.
This is much better than walking.
Oh yeah. I'm so fast.
Literally just pulled up next to us and shouted, "Do you want a ride?"
This is amazing. Today's gonna be a good day.
Probably saved us about an hour, I would guess.
Oh yeah.
We are back on the PCT, folks. You can see the river down in the bottom of the canyon there. Very shortly we will be approaching the 300-mile mark. From what I recall, there is a post somewhere on this trail up the side of this canyon. It's dry, it's warm, sun's out, blue skies have returned, and it feels good to be out hiking again. Hopefully now we have a clear run up towards Wrightwood. You can see right up the canyon there. We're just going to be following that for a little while. Even coming back down to the trail, there was a couple of water crossings, that we had to make. And today you could tell that there were a lot lower levels than what they were when we got off trail. But look at this down tree. A very awkward position. Difficult to do one-handed as well. We were just saying we've been extremely lucky this morning. We left Lake Arrowhead on the bus. I think it was like 3 minutes past 8 was the bus. Got to Cedar Glen, got our free coffees. Thank you very much, Caroline, again. And then walked like a couple of 100 metres down the road and got a ride which saved us a good hour's hiking back to the trail. So we're all feeling pretty good this morning about life. And it certainly does help that it is a really beautiful day as well. Looking forward to today. 100%. You can see right down into the bottom of the canyon there. A little bit of water maybe glinting that you can make out. Just come around the corner, look at all this colour here. It's like an explosion of yellow. Really nice. If someone could educate me what this plant is, I'd really appreciate it. I have no idea, I've not seen anything like it so far on the trail yet. But it's got these beautiful flowers. There's one out down here. I'm going to show you. Really, really nice. Nice and bright. And these little, I don't know if these are like little seed pods or if they're flowers waiting to open. I have no idea. But yeah, it's the first one of that kind I have seen so far. And I believe getting kind of close to the next milestone. Yep, you can actually see it. Hooray! Couple of people over there taking pictures. Very good. And there you can see, maybe make out, if I don't trip over, Centipede and Pink Panther. They've got a little bit ahead of me because I have been filming loads this morning. I kind of owe you guys a decent episode. Thank you for sticking with me. I know there's been quite a few kind of poorer quality episodes recently, so today hopefully try and make up for it and give you something a bit more exciting to watch. See what the rest of the day brings. But in town I did get to sit down and read through all the comments and catch up on them. Thank you very much. I said it before, I keep saying it, it means so much that people are actually sat watching these videos and taking the time to comment and enjoying them. So, thank you. It's great to have you guys following along from home. And hopefully some of you might get out here sometime and do some of this yourselves, or all of it. That would be awesome if you guys got to experience it for yourselves. Well, look what we have here.
It's not Hendrik. I thought it's Hendrik.
Oh, no, sorry. Congratulations.
300.
300.
300. Oh, don't look at the back.
You know what we've got to say, don't you? Good job. Good job.
We did it.
Do you want a picture?
So, I just want to talk about something that's been bothering me a little bit the last few days. And I've not said anything to the girls because I don't want them to feel like any of it is their fault, because it isn't at all. But I set out on this, obviously like most people do, on my own. And I was flying along, probably pushing myself a little bit too much. I was hiking alone all the time, passing people. I think in the first kind of 10 or 11 days, I can't recall being passed by anybody, but I was passing a lot of people, and I was, within that time, I was kind of pushing 25, high 20-mile days. And I do like the challenge of that. I like to be able to push myself and see, like, the day when I got to Saddle Junction and down into Idlewild. I actually really enjoyed that. It was a massive challenge, and it was a great sense of achievement when I got down to the town that night and got to the hotel room. And obviously recently I've slowed down quite a lot, and just the last few days on trail I've been getting, I don't know what the right word is, maybe a little frustrated that I've not been going as fast as I was. People have been passing me every day. And I don't know, I don't want to feel like that. I'm enjoying hiking with the people that I'm hiking with. They're great company and they're nice people. And that goes for the people I've been hiking around as well. The people have been passing every couple of days, and then they pass us. And I had it in my mind I was just going to come and just blast out as much as I could, like I was doing the first couple of weeks. And that's all well and good. And yes, while it was quite enjoyable, I was on my own most of the time. And I think there's only so much of that you can take. So, at the moment, I'm very happy where I am, and I'm starting to understand the fact that you don't have to do 25-30 miles a day to enjoy the trail. and you don't have to hike alone, you can hike with people. I am naturally quite antisocial. Anyone that knows me well enough will know that and probably be sat nodding their head right about now. I don't have a very wide circle of friends. I have a few good friends, and I sometimes find it, or I generally find it, quite difficult to socialise in big groups. Feel awkward, which is quite funny considering that I'm talking to the camera and putting videos up on YouTube, but I tend not to think about that. I kind of just film it and put it up in YouTube and deal with the consequences. So, yeah, as I say, I was getting a little frustrated with the lack of progress, but I don't need to be. The only thing that's nagging me at the back of my mind is the 6-month visa. But I mean, I've got till the first week in October on that. And if it takes me until the back end of September, then so be it. You know, I hope I get that far. I really, really do. I might not make it that far. You never know what's going to happen. You never know what's going to happen around this corner. So that's kind of why I've slowed down a bit. I'm just enjoying where I am at the moment. Good company. Sorry, just swallowed a fly. And a nice pace where I'm not killing myself every day. So as long as that carries on. Today we've kind of sat down and had a chat last night at the creepy hotel we were staying at, which was a real experience. And we planned out kind of today. As I said earlier, the two girls have got to get to Wrightwood for packages, and we don't want to be stuck in Wrightwood for 3 days over the weekend. There's not a great deal of accommodation in Wrightwood, and it seems to be quite expensive. So I'm just going to spin you around and show you this view because it's awesome. Look at that. Absolutely beautiful. And you can see right down into the canyon floor again. That sandbar looks like it would be a beautiful place to spend the night. So nice. But yeah, we kind of sat down and we planned out what we need to do to get them to Wrightwood by Friday afternoon and hit the post office before it gets closed. And it basically means doing 60 miles in 4 days, which is doable, but we kind of agreed that we were going to push as much as we could these first couple of days out of town because it's easier walking. A lot of it is downhill. The last day into Wrightwood is going to be a very large uphill climb. So we know that's going to take a little bit more effort. So the plan was just to try and push as much as we could these first few days and leave ourselves with as little as possible to do on the Friday. And I think everybody was happy with that as well, which is nice. It's always difficult when you've got a group hiking together to try and accommodate everyone's wishes. Anyone that's done something like this will probably know that. You know, you have people that hike at different paces, you have people that have different budgets to spend on food and accommodation. There's all sorts of things to take into account, sorry. But kind of really pleased with how things are going at the moment. If we can start notching up to 15 to 20 miles a day, that would be absolutely brilliant. I would be so happy. And I know the girls have got it in them to do that as well because they've both done those kind of days before. Just look at that. Does that not want to make you come outside and go for a hike? On a day like this, that is just stunning. Wow. Anyway, I've been talking for too long. I'm going for a bit. This is mile 301.3. It's Deep Creek, the river itself, not the hot springs, obviously. It's quite a nice area. Somebody has been dying to get into some water, and now she's actually found it. She's happy. We've got another water source in just under 5 miles, so I'm going to refrain from gathering any here. But it's a real nice area. Just across this way, there looks to be a bigger pool of water through the trees there that I'm sure you could probably go swimming in. But it is such a beautiful day today. I am genuinely really excited and happy to be back walking again today and getting a good day in, hopefully. So anyone that is relatively new to the channel, which is probably a lot of you guys watching, I have been videoing quite a few of my hikes in the last few years. In fact, almost every one that I've been on, I've vlogged on. Not from the trail, but after the trail when I've got home and kind of edited it and stuff. And it's just funny comparing my mindset and the way I approach a hike and look at a hike when I'm actually out here and you're filming against when you're not filming. You do feel, or I do anyway, oh sorry, look at this. I do feel a lot freer. It's almost like a weight off your mind when you're not having to video. Don't get me wrong, I do enjoy videoing the hikes because as much as anyone I like watching the videos back, but when you are videoing you kind of find yourself thinking ahead, and so I've just pulled in front of the girls a little bit because I saw this bridge coming up and I thought, oh, I want to get up to the bridge and set the camera up for a walk-by shot. So that's why I've just moved away from them a little bit, and now I've got to try and find somewhere to put the camera, hopefully get a shot of them as they come over the bridge, if I make it in time. There we go, look at that, just in the nick of time. So we are now starting to climb out of the canyon, or climb up the canyon sides. I only remember a little bit about this section, to be honest. I kind of remember it being this hot last time I came up. I definitely remember that view down there. The really kind of white rock contrasting with the water and the reddish rocks down there. But the fact that this trail is as long as it is, and yes, certain parts of it aren't quite as well maintained as others, but the fact that it's a trail that spans the country and it's maintained well enough for thousands of people to hike each year, it's absolutely fantastic. It's so good, and it is such a pleasure and a privilege to be able to come out here and attempt it. And if you get to finish, I guess I can only imagine what that feels like. A tremendous sense of accomplishment. There's a nice breeze up here. keeping me a little bit cool because it is certainly the hottest it's been for a good few days now. A lot of butterflies on this section as well. Not seen many so far. Unfortunately, they seem to be too fast for me to capture on the video camera. But some blue ones, some bright yellow ones, and then some with a lot more intricate colours and patterns on. Such a nice day. I hope the colour on these comes out on the camera because they are a really beautiful, bearing in mind that I'm partially colourblind, I would say orange colour. But they're pretty vibrant. They're really nice, these little things hanging over the trail. I think it's the ones I saw earlier where I asked if anybody knew what they were. I can't see any flowering here to compare them, but they look like the same things. They look like kind of little lanterns almost. Really, really nice though. The girls are probably a quarter to a half mile behind me. I think they stopped for a bathroom break. I just carried on because that's what I'm like. I don't care about anyone else. No, it's not a kind of thing. I think people see groups online on videos on Instagram and they think that, you know, if you're in a group of whatever it is, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, whatever number, they think that the group is hiking as a group all the time together, and it's just not the case. I'll hike off. I seem to be a bit faster than the girls, so I'll hike off in front for a while, then I'll stop somewhere and let them catch up. Sometimes I lag behind to get some footage, catch up to them, make arrangements to meet somewhere for lunch at a certain mile marker, or kind of say, right, we're probably going to camp around the 315 mile mark, something like that. Makes it a bit easier when you've got cell service on the trail. I don't use a Garmin InReach, which a lot of people do, and that allows them to message even when they don't have cell service. So Pink Panther's got one and Centipede's got one, so they can stay in touch that way. Lunch today, guys. What a nice little spot as well. Let me just see what mile we're at. 305.9. So, not done too bad today, but look at this. It is just gorgeous. I think I might just set me up a little time lapse somewhere and see what I can catch on it. Find a nice rock to put the camera on. So it's about 2:45-ish, I think. We had a pretty long, lazy lunch by the river. It was lovely. Pink Panther's gone off ahead a little ways. We're about, I would say, roughly 1.5 miles away from Deep Creek Hot Springs. Just giving you a forewarning that I won't be filming there. If you know the area, you probably know why. If you don't know the area, there's quite a lot of nude people in and around the area. So I don't want to be accused of being some sort of deviant or breaking any laws. So there won't be any filming whilst I'm in that area. But the canyon's really opened up at the bottom there. It's been kind of quite enclosed, shrouded over with some trees and bushes. But you can see down into the bottom of it now. It's really nice. It was so nice just being sat next to the river at the bottom for lunch. Quite a few people joined us as well. Sat around there. I think there was a good 6 or 7 people by the time we left. There's no water now for, I think it's about 7 miles. So we basically have to make that tonight. Or be very thirsty. One of the two. Right, so I've just passed Deep Creek Hot Springs. Centipede stopped to chill out by the river for a little bit. She's missing the water, I believe. Pink Panther is somewhere in front of me, probably about a mile in front of me. You can see, hopefully, the trail cutting across the hillside there. So we're still following the canyon. I said I would wait for Centipede at the Rainbow Bridge, which is probably about 1.5 miles in front of me now. We have to get to the 7 mile mark where the next water source is tonight. I've only got like just over a litre on me, so that's not going to cut it for this evening and tomorrow morning. I've just got really, really runny nose as well. It's funny because it's been all right nearly all day. I took one of my allergy pills this morning, and I don't know, maybe it's wearing off. But it's still really, really hot. There's a nice little bit of breeze at the moment, but it's definitely the warmest it's been for probably 5 or 6 days, I would guess. I can't remember the last time I was sweating this much when I was hiking. Look at this canyon. Cuts right into this V. Takes you right round the side. This stuff as well that I'm walking on, I don't know if you can see, it's really, really loose. So you've got to be careful if there's any sort of slope to it or angle. Your foot does slide pretty easily on it. All this looks like eroded granite, like little quartz chunks and things like that. Well, this is mile 310. It's the Deep Creek Rainbow Bridge. Probably just see it poking out in the centre there. Why is it called a rainbow bridge? Well, it's shaped like a rainbow and it's got rainbow colours painted on it. So it's called the Rainbow Bridge. It's amazing to see the difference actually of when I was last here in 2019, because we actually slept next to the river. So we went down somewhere, I believe it was right here. Yeah, I can just see a little bit of sand. So we went down there, and slept on the sandbar down there. Quite cool seeing it like that. Not changed a great deal actually by the looks of things. Trees got a bit bigger. Yeah, there you go. If you can be bothered to go down there, because it is a steep bank down and a steep climb back up, it's a really nice spot to camp. There we go. It's nice seeing all the different bits of engineering. Always get nervous poking cameras over things like this. No matter how tight I'm gripping them, I always think they're going to come out my hand. You can see down both ways. And there's Pink Panther. This is quite a cool view. We're about mile 312, something like that. A little hut down there. I assume it's something to do with the water course, but you can maybe make out where the trail goes directly in front of us, just straight lines all the way towards the, I think it's like the Mojave River Forks Dam or something like that, in about 2 miles, I believe it will be now. It's getting on for 5:30 p.m. Still nice and warm. Well, this is mile 312.2, and that down there is the Mojave River Forks Dam, which I believe we're headed down to. If we don't walk across it, we definitely walk somewhere near it. Pretty cool scene, especially from being in, I'm not saying the canyon where we've been all day today is nasty, it's not. It's been nice in there, but to come out and see a pretty open view like that, that's nice, real nice. It's about 20 to 6. We've probably got about 1.5 miles or something like that to go to the water source. And then we've got to find somewhere to put the tents. I'm looking forward to getting pitched up tonight, to be honest with you. Been a warm old day. Alright, this is Deep Creek still. This is the water source we've come for. And this is a log we have to cross to get over. Kind of moves a little bit, but looks like it might be kind of doable, hopefully. We don't want anybody going and drink this time of night. He says, as he's probably going to fall in it himself. Good evening, guys. It's just after 7 p.m, mile 313.8, and we've obviously finished for the day. All done. Quite a nice evening, actually. Lack of camping areas or camping spots in this area, and consequently ourselves and probably almost every other PCT hiker in the area is camped in this gravel wash. I shall just spin you around and show you. So we've got a few tents up there, maybe 3 or 4 tents up that direction. It does look like 4-wheel drives and off-road buggies use this kind of gravel wash. So I've got myself on a little berm at this side here, a little passing place. I'm just airing the tent out, just the last little bit of damp, trying to get rid of that from last night. Looks like it's about gone before I start putting my stuff in. Really sandy ground. I've had to find some pretty big stones to hold the stakes down, and let me tell you, it looks like there's stones everywhere. When you want big ones for holding your stakes down, there aren't any anywhere. And then we've got over here, Centipede's got our X-Mid 1 up, X-Mid 1 Pro up, and Pink Panther's still got the Hexamid, and then just through there you can maybe make out there's a few more tents set up, kind of in the middle of the berm. So if a vehicle comes, they might just be in a little bit of trouble, but never mind. So yeah, trail miles done today. I think it's around the 16-ish mark. I'm not 100% certain on that. It might be 15 or 16. Actual miles hiked, I believe it's more like about 18 or 19. It's actually been quite a long day. And very warm and kind of draining, I would call it maybe. But the scenery's been beautiful most of the day, and it's been pretty nice hiking as well. The last 3 or 4 miles coming out of the creek, out of Deep Creek, were just nice and level. And incidentally as well, this is easily the worst ground that I've pitched on so far, and it's actually by far the best pitch that I've achieved so far. So it's either blind luck or I am actually starting to learn about this tent a little bit more. I think the key for me is getting the first 2 stakes in one end. So what I generally do is I hold the top of this carbon pole, and then I stake out one corner, and then I stake out the other corner tightly. I generally have started putting this guy in as well, just to keep the strut upright while I do the other end, and it seems to allow me to tension it a little bit better. Doing it that way seems to be working out okay. I am really, really hungry now. It's definitely time to get some food going. And I've filmed so much today that the battery is on red, which usually takes me 2.5 days to get through. So hopefully I've got some decent footage to show you. Anyway, that is us done for today, folks.